Look into the nearest mirror. Right now. That face staring back at you. It isn't sitting on glass. It's floating on a skin of real metal, thinner than a soap bubble. And the way humans learn to make it? It involves poison, madness, and a secret so valuable that men were murdered to keep it. Let me show you. Start at the beginning. Before glass. Before silver. The first mirror was a puddle. A human leaning over still water, seeing themselves for the very first time. Then someone had a better idea. Around 8,000 years ago, in what is now Turkey, people took a black volcanic rock called obsidian. They ground it. They polished it for days, until it shined like dark water that never rippled. That was the first manufactured mirror on Earth. But it was dim, blurry. You saw a shadow of yourself, not the truth. For thousands of years, that was the best we could do. Polished bronze, polished silver, polished gold. Kings paid fortunes for a reflection that was still cloudy and warped. The world was starving for a clear mirror, and nobody could crack it until one tiny island figured out the impossible and decided to guard it with blood. The island was Murano, just off the coast of Venice. In the 1500s, Venetian glassmakers discovered something no one else on the planet knew how to do. They could take a flat sheet of perfect glass and bond metal to the back of it. Suddenly the reflection wasn't cloudy, it was crisp, bright, almost alive. For the first time in history, a person could see their own face exactly as it was. Europe went insane for it. A single Venetian mirror could cost more than a painting by a master. More than a house. Kings and queens across Europe were desperate for the secret. And Venice knew exactly what it had. So the government made a chilling law. The glassmakers of Murano were forbidden to leave. Ever. If a craftsman tried to escape and sell the secret abroad, assassins were sent after him. Men were hunted across borders and killed to keep this one recipe hidden. That is how valuable a clear reflection had become. But here's what those assassins were really protecting. The recipe itself was slowly killing the men who made it. Here was the secret. They laid a sheet of tin foil onto a flat stone table. Then they poured liquid mercury over it. Shimmering, silver, beautiful. The mercury and tin melted together into a glowing metallic paste called an amalgam. Then they slid the glass on top, pressed it down, and when they lifted it, the metal clung to the back of the glass forever. A perfect, brilliant mirror. But mercury has a secret of its own. It's a poison. A slow one. It seeps in through the skin. It rises off the surface as an invisible vapor you breathe without even knowing, and it attacks the brain. The mirror makers of Venice began to shake. Their hands trembled so badly they couldn't hold a cup. Their teeth fell out. Their minds unraveled into paralysis and madness. They were poisoning themselves to make the most beautiful objects in the world. Every flawless mirror in a European palace was built by a man slowly losing his mind. This went on for 300 years. The world had no other way until a single German chemist walked into a lab and ended the age of poison with something sitting in your kitchen right now. His name was Justus von Liebig. The year was 1835. Liebig wasn't trying to make mirrors. He was studying chemistry, and he stumbled onto something that felt like actual magic. He took a clear liquid containing dissolved silver, real silver, invisible, floating in the fluid. Then he added a simple sugar, the kind of sugar found in fruit, and he watched. The sugar did something extraordinary. It grabbed the silver out of the liquid, atom by atom, and forced it to become solid metal again. The silver rushed to the walls of the glass, and it stuck. In seconds, the clear glass turned into a flawless, gleaming mirror. No mercury, no poison, no madness. Just silver, sugar, and a chemical reaction that looked like a miracle. This is the real secret behind the mirror on your wall. Not paint, not foil, a layer of pure, solid silver. So thin that if you could scrape all of it off your bathroom mirror, it would barely fill a spoon. But Liebig's discovery raised one final question. If mirrors were once treasures worth killing for, why is the one in your bathroom so cheap? Because of what happened next. Once Liebig showed the world the recipe, everything changed. Mirrors stopped being royal treasures and became something a factory could spit out by the thousands. Here's how yours was actually made. It starts with a sheet of glass, cleaned so violently that not one speck of dust remains, because a single fleck would ruin the reflection. Then the glass moves down a line, and machines spray it. First, a chemical to make the surface grip metal. Then, 2 sprays hit the glass at the exact same moment. One carries the dissolved silver, the other carries the sugar-like trigger. They collide directly on the glass, and in that instant, Liebig's reaction fires. Solid silver blooms across the surface in a single wave. But silver alone is fragile. It would scratch and tarnish in weeks. So a layer of copper is laid over the silver to protect it. Then a tough coat of paint seals the back. That gray backing you see on the edge of a broken mirror? That's it. The armor guarding the metal skin underneath. The whole process, from bare glass to finished mirror, takes under a minute. The thing that once drove men mad and got them murdered now rolls off a machine before you finish a sentence. So, the next time you catch your own eyes in the glass, remember what you're really looking at. Not glass. Metal, a whisper-thin layer of real silver, pressed there by a discovery that freed us from poison, refined from a secret men once died to protect. You are not looking at a reflection. You are looking at 3,000 years of human obsession just to see your own face clearly, and it's hanging on your wall, where you never even notice it.